She wore a yellow ribbon in the merry month of August. It's the FA Cup final. Here we go. Yes, Arsenal versus Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Once again, may I just add, once again, not for the first time, these two teams are meeting at Wembley. Of course, due to the coronavirus pandemic, it's going to be with an empty crowd. No one at the stadium today apart from two teams desperate to try and get a trophy, for two managers desperate to try and win their first ever trophy as managers. Going to this game, it's going to be a tough one. It's really going to be a tough one for both teams. It'll be hard to call. Of course, Chelsea coming in as favourites. There's no doubt that they are a lot higher up in the league, and as they say, your league position is really determines how good of a side you are over the course of the season. You know, play everyone twice, big teams, smaller teams, mid-table teams, and you know you get what you get what you deserve. You know, Chelsea have had a transfer ban at the start of the season, didn't get to buy anyone. Arsenal did get to buy players, you know, but had their manager sacked. So you know it's going to be an interesting game, and I'm going to go straight in with the team news. For Arsenal, of course, there is no Mustafi. You know, we've heard he's now out until maybe even the start of next season. So he won't be playing for Arsenal today. Apart from that, there's no new injury concerns. Bernd Leno is back in training, but Arteta has confirmed this week that Emiliano Martinez will start in goal for Arsenal. And for Chelsea, it seems that Kante is back in full training, and Willian is also back in training. So we'll be interested to see if either of those two start for them. And of course, stating the obvious, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek is injured. The less said about that, the better. We move. Big game, as I said, big game. And you know, for Arsenal, of course, a need to win to get into the Europa League. Really, you know, if Arsenal are going to attract big players, they need to be playing in Europe. So you know, this is a game that they're going to want to win. Of course, Aubameyang captains Arsenal this weekend, you know, could lift the trophy in maybe his final game. You know, we yet to see whether he's going to sign a deal. Is winning the cup motivation for him to stay, you know, to play at Arsenal, to try and see that, you know, we are a club that wins trophies? Or is it like a, you know what, I've come at Arsenal, I've picked up a trophy and a golden boot, now it's time to bounce. You know, of course, we have to wait and see what happens with that. But it'll be interesting to see what bearing this win or loss has on Aubameyang going forward. But you know, as much as I don't want to lose the game at all, it will be very interesting to see how we do if we don't play in Europe next season. You know, before you lot get on to me, I do want Arsenal to win. So I'm not out here. I'm not gonna come after the game saying, you know, I told you, you know, a bit better for us to lose. No, I want Arsenal to win the game 100%. However, because it's been so bad in the league, this is a chance to get into Europe. It's not like you deserve to be in it. So whilst we don't deserve to be in it via the league table, it'll be interesting to see how a season without Europe will be for us. After, you know, we messed up our chances to finish in Europe, as we did last year. Of course, we missed up our chance to finish in the Champions League, and the only chance to get back in was to beat Chelsea in a final. We lost 4-1 in Baku. So, you know, there's a revenge title to this. As I said, there's the fact that we've beaten Chelsea the past two times in the FA Cup final. Don't forget Ray Parlour's magnificent winner. Don't forget Aaron Ramsey's great header to put Arsenal 2-1 up in the game a couple of years ago. So it's going to be an interesting game. You know, there's a lot riding on it. Of course, Arsenal are the record holders of this competition. We love to win it. We know what it's like to win it. We've been here many times before as underdogs, as we probably, I think I wouldn't come myself saying we're big underdogs, but in terms of the game itself, we are coming in as slight underdogs. I think Chelsea are the favourites. So, you know, as I said, we've been coming into these finals as underdogs. No one expected us to beat Chelsea when Antonio Conte just run and dominated the whole league. But, you know, we did. And we beat Man City in the semi-final, as we done this year. So, you know, the capability of us is there. It's just whether or not this group of players can get over the line. And there will be some, of course, that did play in that final a few years ago against Chelsea. So, you know, some that are coming in with the mentality to continue that form and bring it into the next game. In terms of the starting lineup route, let's get into it, straight into it. In goal, Emiliano Martinez. As I said earlier on, Arteta has confirmed he will be starting for Arsenal. Man has been in magnificent form as he approaches 10 years at Arsenal Football Club now. It's great to see. It's great to see a man who is coming, taking his opportunity and pushing next season for the #1 shirt. Will be very, very interesting to see that first game of the season. Maybe a Community Shield game against Liverpool. Maybe not. It may just be the first game of the season. Whether Martinez keeps his place, but he's been magnificent since the restart. And I'm going to go for a back three. I think Arteta... I don't know if this is preferred formation, but with the players he's got right now, it's the one that's been working best for us, as we saw against Man City and against Liverpool. So, and, you know, it suits some of the players like David Luiz, even though my man conceded another penalty last week. I think it does suit his style of play to have a couple of other defenders around him. So I'm going to go with Holding as a right centre-back, David Luiz in the middle of the back three. And this is probably the only sort of position where you don't really know what's going to happen. The left centre-back / left wing-back. Now, I'm going to go with Kieran Tierney at left centre-back. Reason being, I thought he was magnificent against Man City there. He obviously shows a willingness to get forward, as we did with the second Arsenal goal. He dinked it over the Man City defence for Aubameyang to score. So there is a chance he can attack via left centre-back. I think, you know, in bigger games, it's better to have him sort of sitting a bit more deeper or going and then allowing the team to build up and him to push forward from there. Of course, we got the option of Kolasinac, who did play there for a little while this season, but hasn't started there, I don't think, since the game against Spurs, where he gave away a goal pretty much with a poor back pass. So I'm expecting Tierney to go in there. And then into left wing back, again, another tough decision. Is it Saka? Is it Maitland-Niles? I mean, going off who's been better there in the past few weeks, it's got to be Maitland-Niles. He's been brilliant. He came on against Wolves, magnificent. He played very well there against Manchester United this season. And he played very, very, very well against Man City, against Riyad Mahrez, one of the best wingers when it comes to cutting in and scoring goals. And then you got Saka, who's been just magnificent the whole season, from whether it's left back, left wing back, left centre mid, left wing, number 10, right wing, right wing back. The boy, the kid, the future has been brilliant. So it'll be tough decision for Arteta to make. But I'm going to predict that Maitland-Niles gets the nod. I'm going to predict he gets the nod because I feel like we're going to need him, especially if you got Pulisic on that side. I don't know who's going to be starting for Chelsea, whether it's Pulisic there or whether Willian goes out there, or whether it's Mason Mount, whoever it's going to be. I think we're going to need someone who's maybe a bit more defensive-minded, which I think Maitland-Niles will be. Of course, you got lights of the overlapping fullbacks in Reece James if he plays, Aspilicueta. So it's going to be tough for anyone out there, and I feel like he's got to go a bit more of the defensive minded. So I'm going to go Maitland-Niles there. In the middle, it's got to be Xhaka and Ceballos. We look at best when they both play and they both start. We didn't play well with them without Xhaka in the middle against Aston Villa. And Ceballos, since lockdown, has been brilliant. He's been controlling games and he's also defended very, very well. So I think it's interesting. At the start of lockdown, I had no idea what teams Arteta was going to play. Now I'm a bit more confident of the starting lineup. Although I probably haven't even got one right yet. So we'll wait and see what happens with there. And at right wing back, Cedric is cup-tied, having played in this competition earlier on with Southampton. So I'm going to go Bellerin at right wing back. And then the front three really picks itself in terms of form. Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang. Pepe has been, again, he's had some good games after lockdown. He's had some quiet games, but you know, that little bit of brilliance he showed against Brighton, the work rate he showed against Man City, shows that he's good enough to play in that position. And listen, if Chelsea let him cut in on that left foot, it could be a problem for them. So, you know, I think he has to start. Lacazette, again, another man since the restart. He's done well. He's scored a few goals since lockdown. He's won a couple of penalties. Very similar circumstances. Back to goal, and then foul, pushed in the back, kicked in the back of the leg. So, you know, these are things Arteta can build off. Him being the sort of false nine, if you like, dropping deep and holding up the ball, allowing Arsenal players to push on ahead of him. And then, of course, the talisman, the captain, probably the best player on the pitch this weekend, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Brilliant in the semi-final, brilliant all season. He's got 22 goals, as you know, in the league. And, you know, I'm hoping again he has one of those brilliant games. The man has showed his quality. He showed how great he is. And, you know, I'm hoping that he does what he does and scores goals and brings us another FA Cup trophy. And, of course, you know, it's going to be a tough game. Chelsea are coming in confident. You know, they consolidated their place in the Champions League next season. So it's not a game they have to win. But, you know, said this last year. It wasn't a game they had to win in Baku. They're in the Champions League. They didn't have to win to confirm their place in there. We needed to win to get into the Champions League. So no pressure, and they played better. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, if Kepa plays in goal, we'll shoot on sight. If not, we've got to be a bit more reserved. The Caballero isn't the best goalkeeper in the world. So, you know, there's weaknesses in Chelsea, much more than there are in Man City and Liverpool. But I think we have to treat them with the utmost respect. Play the low block, and then, you know, we may not have the ball a lot of the time, but just try and build as we did against Man City. And then, of course, try and catch them on a counter-attack. And then, yeah, so in terms of what do I think the result is going to be, I want Arsenal to win. I always want Arsenal to win. I don't always predict them to win, but I've got to go with a heart for this one. It's the FA Cup final. We know what to do in these kind of games. Arteta himself has won the FA Cup. He's lifted the trophy as captain as Arsenal, so he knows what it's like to do it. He won it, didn't he win it last year with Man City, Watford? Was it last year or the year before? So he knows how to win it as a coach. Now, can he do it as a manager? As I said, there's players like Xhaka, Rob Holding, Bellerin played in that final a few years ago. Players who knows how to win it. So I'm going to predict an Arsenal win. And I'm going to go with a result that I very, very rarely do. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go 90s. I'm going to go rugged defensive performance. We get a goal just before half time or maybe just after, and we just see it out. And see it out isn't something known to Arsenal, but they did it against Liverpool. They did it against City. Can they do it just one more time and end the season with a decent trophy for Arteta's first year in management? Guys, thanks for watching us this season. Thanks for watching the vid. One more win, Arsenal. I'm begging you. One more win. I'll see you soon, guys.